My path to Stanford began a little bit earlier than most, maybe. My dad actually went to the business school here at Stanford. So the first time I saw this place was in the context of his reunion. And it's hard not to immediately fall in love as soon as you step on this campus. And I think what really drew me to Stanford and solidified it for me was the vibe on campus. Everyone here is so passionate and dedicated and driven. And so I couldn't think of an environment that's more conducive to learning and creating and growing. And so if I was lucky enough to get into here, I knew I had to go. The story of how I became a member of this volleyball program is wild and one of my favorites for sure. So the majority of my life growing up, I played basketball. That was my main focus, and everyone definitely thought I was going to try and pursue basketball in college. Then, kind of in the middle of my high school career, I got hurt. Tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus, the whole thing. And after my knee surgery, I never really found my way back to basketball. My surgeon wasn't huge on the idea of contact sports at that point, so I pivoted and focused more of my efforts on volleyball. So I was at a club tournament in late December, and a college coach from a school on the East Coast saw me playing, came up to me after our match and asked, are you considering playing in college? And I told him honestly, I'm going to Stanford, I love the school, but they're way too good. So frankly, no, I've kind of accepted that volleyball is a chapter that will close at this point. And he said, actually the coach out there is a friend of mine. I can put in a good word for you. To be honest, I pretty much laughed that off as, okay, nothing's gonna come of that. 2 weeks later, John Dunning was calling my house and was offering me a spot to walk on to the volleyball team. I mean, I can't help but smile when I think about it. The rarity of that experience is not lost to me. But also, it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy decision in the beginning because I was so scared, and I knew how in over my head I would be. And these girls were a whole different league. But much to thanks to my parents, they knew what was right for me when I couldn't see it for myself. They pushed me to at least give it a shot. And I'm so glad that I did. So while being at Stanford, I've had the incredible experience to have a variety of opportunities afforded to me, both in my summers and in my time during the year. So the summer following my freshman year, it was really important for me to head back home to New York because I've been away from home for a while. And so at that point, I interned at Morgan Stanley in their global capital markets department. Then after my sophomore summer, I returned back home to Morgan Stanley to intern in sales and trading. Another experience that I really appreciated, being on the trading floor. This most recent summer, following my junior year, I decided to stay here over the summer and work an internship as opposed to going on the team trip to Europe. And so I interned at a private equity firm here in California, in the Bay Area, and I had an incredible summer. I learned so much and met so many great people. But that being said, it was at the expense of me not being able to join the team on our trip to Europe, which was definitely a very difficult decision. And I thought long and hard about that one. And so it wasn't easy because I knew that the Europe trip would be fun and would also be fundamental in terms of gelling with the new team and bonding with the freshmen. Ultimately, I decided to stay here, and I'm super excited that I will actually be going back for full time upon graduation.
Okay, good, we'll come back to you real quick.
Being a part of this Stanford volleyball team has meant so much to me. It is difficult to put into words. And I think about it often, especially because it was so close to not being a part of my experience. One lesson that this experience has ingrained into me forever is that I can never let fear be a reason I don't do something. Because I was so close to not embarking on this incredible journey because I was scared that I would be inadequate or I wouldn't like it or I would fail. And had I let that stop me, I wouldn't be here today and I would be a different person. This experience has changed me so much for the better that I'm so grateful that I did push past that fear. The second thing I've learned from this team is that I am a true believer in the growth mindset. The idea that our abilities are not fixed and we really can grow if we believe in it. And with the help and the support of an incredible team and an incredible staff who are so knowledgeable about the game, they have managed to turn me into the player that I'm proud to be today. And I think the last most meaningful thing that I'll take from this team is the relationships that I formed with my teammates and the staff, and also being a part of the greater Stanford legacy. One of the most remarkable memories that I will take from this experience is definitely winning the national championship my sophomore year. It is not lost on me how incredible that experience was. What made it the most real for me was looking at my teammates and looking at their faces when we won. The tears streaming down their faces and this raw, genuine emotion that I have not seen yet. It was magical, it was unreal. As we stood there and the confetti rained down, it's a moment that I will never forget, and I consider myself so lucky every day to have had that experience. Overall, my Stanford experience has been more than I could have ever asked for. I think volleyball was one of the most pleasant surprises I will probably have in my lifetime. To not expect something like this to come out of anything, I had fully accepted that I would not be an athlete in college. I loved Stanford, and it was a trade-off I was willing to make. And so the culmination of the athletics here and the academics, which also surpassed my expectations, because as I said, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I've had so much fun exploring all that this place has to offer. One of my goals here is to try and take classes in as many disciplines as possible. I'm currently at 22, everything from astrophysics to art history to marine bio. This place has allowed me to grow in ways that I could never have imagined. I am just so grateful that I had the opportunity to attend this incredible institution and be a part of the immaculate historical legacy that is Stanford volleyball. It has, in ways I couldn't have foreseen, changed me for the better. And I just am so, so grateful. And I'm excited for what's next.